The Habs roster has officially been revealed, and there are multiple surprising aspects to the whole thing, notably Joshua Roy being sent to Laval, being cut from the Habs to start the season, and in his place are Emil Heineman, Alex Barré-Boulet, and our boy Oliver Kapanen. But it's not only that, Jesse. A lot of Habs fans are talking about the Power Play 2 and the Power Play 1, and notably the lack of Lane Hutson, plus Alex Barré-Boulet making his debut likely on Wednesday on the third line. There's a bunch of stuff we got to get into on that front. Plus, we do have to talk about Ivan Demidov, who was once again benched after the second period in his game for SKA today. There's a bunch of stuff to get into on this episode of Habs Digest. But Jesse, today is the big day. We saw the rosters, a bunch of stuff to get into. Doesn't it just feel great to have hockey right around the corner?
It really does feel even better to say that we didn't even need to mention that Lane Hutson was a foregone conclusion on making this team. This is how good his camp was. It's like, it's not even a surprise anymore. Like, we've known this basically for weeks now. So this is the fact that, like, one of our star players, we got that depth. We need those star players to come through. The fact that Lane Hutson's doing that so far makes me so excited, brother.
Oh man, I'm beyond pumped. And let's get some W's in the chat. We got the season coming. I'm going to spam some W's there too. The season is right around the corner, starts Wednesday. Let's get some W's. Channel members, send your emoticons in there. Send your Slavzilla, send your Suzukis. I want to see everything in the chat there. We're sending this all. And I'm going to go through the chat first to say hello to all the fine people who are here joining us today. We got Simon, the first channel member chat, disappointed for what? We're going to get into all this stuff. Francis Daig says, I'm happy for Kapanen. We only need 200 subs until Wednesday. Well, Francis, you are absolutely right. And you guys will see right above me, right there. This is our live subscriber count, and our goal is 15,000, like we said, before the season. We got a couple days to get there. It's still ambitious, but if you're watching this right now and you want to see that number go up right up there and help us out, we'd really appreciate it. Going to go through the chat some more. We got Alex in here. Welcome, Alex. Excited for the Habs Fantasy Hockey League. I really hope Kent and company try and see if they can do something to change up the Demidov situation. That'll be the first thing we talk about today. And watch the AHL could be beneficial. I agree. There's some possible benefits there. Joseph Donovan, welcome. Smash that like and sub. Thank you so much to all of you for the support. Jesse, though, the first thing we got to talk about, we're going to open this up. You know, there's going to be more people coming in later, and so we're going to save the big roster stuff for when they come in. But we got to start, I don't want to say a negative note again, but we got to start with Ivan Demidov. So today, Demidov, as you can see now, up to 12 games, 8 points. And yeah, he played today. He played more in the first period than he did the entirety of the last game. But he was on the ice for 1 goal against, and he was benched. And Roman Rottenberg didn't really address it too much. They kind of said, oh, there's no injuries. They said Demidov disappeared. And he's like, well, Demidov plays in every match with us. Jesse, look, I don't think we need to stick on this too long. I think the chat's going to get into their own feelings on this thing too. How close are you to saying that we should really make a push to bring him over to North America? Are you still not worried, or is that worry starting to set in a little bit? Because I can't lie, for me, while I'm still not worried, I'm starting to get a little annoyed, I think, to say the least.
I was expecting this a little bit. We've seen in the past, even very good players getting minimal ice time. So if there wasn't such a history of this, I'd be more concerned. We see a lot of those players often go on to have big success at the NHL level. But I get where you're coming from, Josh. It's like getting the time right now when it's all about developing and getting better. Like we saw, like with Ivan Demidov, when he's playing in the NHL, like not only was he playing, but he used that time to like be creative and try new things. And that's what you kind of want him doing as much as possible right now in the KHL. Is not just playing, but, you know, really getting out there and trying to see what works to find his game, kind of push the boundaries of what he's capable of doing, right? But there is a precedent of this, of young Russian players not getting the ice time that they really deserve. So unfortunately, it is just part of the situation. I still think that Ivan Demidov is going to be an amazing player, but like Josh, he played such limited time on ice, but he's already creating like scoring chances in like the few moments he gets. And all through hard work, he's one of the guys like hustling out there, making these, in the offensive zone, protecting the pucks, making amazing steam passes, like almost sets up a goal in the very short amount of time that you're there. You'd have to think that he'd get a little bit more love, especially with Kuznetsov being injured. I was like, okay, maybe Ivan Demidov is going to get a little bit more minutes now, right? We've seen it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. At the same time, he's producing, he's doing well all the same. So Ivan Demidov, no matter what you're throwing his way, he seems like he can handle it. That's why I'm not hitting the panic button yet.
No, absolutely. Whoops, there we go, crop that right. No, but you're very right. Like, that's the thing. I'm going to get to these super chats in just a second. We're starting off the stream so hot, so thank you guys. But I want to respond to you first, Jesse. It's like, that's the thing. Like, for us I agree, like, getting reps are the most important thing for his development, and Ivan actually said that himself before the season. He said he wouldn't mind being sent to the VHL or something if it meant getting reps. I know the Habs were not so keen on that from their end, from what we heard, but the thing is, he's not getting reps, but in the reps he does get, he is showing out. He is showing to be one of the most dangerous people on the ice constantly, and he is proving that he's able to score at a high level in a really high-up league. So, all things considered, again, still not necessarily scared or worried, but it is getting to a point where I'm like, is this truly the best for his development? That's kind of where I'm kind of getting at. But Jesse, we got to start with some super chats here as Ethan Mods donates $10. Thank you so much, Ethan. $10 to start the stream. So hot. Really appreciate it. Many people said that Demidov would have been better off in SKA for his development, but if he's going to be benched for half the games, would it be better for him to be in North America? So kind of playing off what we just said, I think it's hard to say whether it'd be better or worse for him to be here or there. And like, at the end of the day, we won't really know for a couple of years how this impacts his development. Will it cause him to make fewer mistakes? Even though I'd argue he's not even making that many mistakes. He's just unfortunate timing on some things. I think it's hard to say better or worse. And the reason I say that is because players have very different development curves. And like you said, Jesse, like, guys will go out there and play similar minutes to what we're seeing Demidov do in the KHL for a good team and then still go on to have phenomenal careers. So to say it's better or worse, I don't know. But I find it maybe tough to argue that him getting fewer reps is better than him getting more reps. But I just don't know if there's an easy solution for that.
No, that's it right now. It's like, at least he's getting to play against solid competition in the KHL, but that reps need to go up. What we just want to see is like a little bit more consistency just from Roman Rottenberg and just the coaching, just because it's really like a yo-yo. It's either he's averaging between 7 and 14 minutes. Like, that's a huge disparity, like basically doubling his ice time some games, basically half of it the others. You just want to see a little bit more of a flow for him to really get into, obviously a proper, position for him to succeed. But, being on the fourth line, even as a young person, it's like, you'd have to feel, Josh, like if he wasn't going to North America next year, he would be higher up in the lines. There is kind of this political sort of thing. So we kind of knew it from the beginning. Habs fans, we just need to be patient. It's not an ideal situation, but it's still probably what Ivan just needs to go through, being a Russian player. He's not going to be there forever. It's just about really making the best out of it. And that's what he's doing so far. He is producing so well at the same time. So we just need to kind of continue to support him from far away and, hope that he keeps getting those reps eventually.
Yeah, there's a lot of negativity towards Rottenberg, and while I'm not going to say whether that is deserved or not, there's certainly some decisions I disagree with. What we can all do as a fan base is to rally behind Demidov, right? We got to rally behind him and show how much we support him, not how much we want to put down other people, because for him, like, this is a big thing, Jesse, and like you said, like, he's able to maximize his time there, and there's not a whole lot Montreal is going to be able to do. Getting him over to North America is not some easy task. So let's just send our praises to Demidov. Let's hope the best for him. And we're going to move on to the next super chat from Luke, who says, I'm excited for the Fantasy League. Well, guys, if you didn't know, there's still 2 spots open in the Habs Digest Fantasy Hockey League. You do have to be a Hat Trick tier member, but it's almost full. We're at 8 people out of 10. So if that interests you and you are a Hat Trick member already, or you want to become a Hat Trick tier member, even just for this month, and you want to join, that is in the community tab of the channel. But I'm very excited for it too. The draft is going down tomorrow night, so it's going to happen pretty quick. And by the way, you guys are seeing this number's going up. It's the real-time thing. If you want to see that number go up, hit the button. But I think it's time, Jesse. Like, I think it's just time to get into the Habs stuff, because I don't want to stay on the negative Demidov stuff for too long. It's going to happen. Whatever. We'll make the best of it. Let's talk about what went down today. And before we do, Simon Desjardins, Simon, a Hat-Trick tier member, gifting 5 channel memberships. And I see the channel memberships going to some chat members that are here a lot, including Ivan. I see you here pretty much every week, and you are now a channel member. Ian is gifted a channel member. Daniel Lirette, ROG or ROG, and Samurai Knight. You are now all channel members. Priority response in chat. There's a bunch of great benefits with it as well. You get to see some of the members-only videos on the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Okay. What an unreal start to that. Before we get into this stuff, Isn't it great how many channel members we have in here now? It's so fun.
Absolutely. It's just the takeover, right? We love seeing the comment section and just having those Habs Digest logos, right there. But obviously, like we see Simo's been helping, helping out the community so much, kind of carrying the torch. We got some people that have been supporting really for a long time, legends, and we just really, really appreciate the support so much.
Speaking of legends, we got BRPQN member again for 2 months. You got the blue badge now, BRs, the best duo back at it again. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. And Jesse, we have officially our 4th Rocket Richard tier member, Ethan Mods, coming in with the Rocket Richard tier channel membership. Ethan, we cannot thank you enough. That is so unbelievably generous. Thank you so much. Ethan, DM our Twitter or our Instagram. I believe some are linked down below. You can just search at Habs Digest on Twitter or at Habs Digest on Instagram. DM me. We'll add you to the group chat where we have Brian, we have Doug, we have Alex, and we have myself and Jesse. We talk about the Habs every day. Join the Fantasy Hockey League. Go to our community tab and click the link to join the Fantasy Hockey. Ethan, thank you so much. We'll have video chats with you, with Brian, Alex, Doug, all these other guys. Jesse, we got another member of the crew. I'm so thankful.
It's growing, and what a great group of guys that we have, right? Like, you can tell they just love hockey so much. You can see that just that love for that game, and also that intelligence, right? Where you can tell they're keeping up to date, you know, and they're really lifelong fans of the Habs, right? So absolutely incredible. It's just been such an honor to get to meet, you know, some of our fans a little bit more, having the video chat. So we are so happy to have you.
Yeah, we'll get that going. And by the way, we will be having a video chat with our Rocket Richard tier members for the first period, maybe even 2 periods of the home opener, not the home opener, the opener of the season on Wednesday night versus the Leafs. We'll be talking with Doug, Alex, Brian, and now you as well, Ethan, as Blanco's in here too. But then Ethan sends another 5 gifted memberships. Jesse, they're making it hard to talk about the Montreal Canadiens because they are just sending support like crazy. Ethan, unbelievable. Thank you so much. Camera focus. Unbelievable. We got Devin709 with the Newfoundland flag as the profile picture. Oh, unbelievable. Great to see the representation there. Derpy CWC was gifted a membership. So was Jlack. So was Florian Luquet. And so was Remy Carrière. You are now also channel members. Thank you so much, Ethan. You are unbelievably generous. Amazing. Thank you. As Alex goes in and says, join quick and you can get in for the game on Wednesday. We're going to watch a couple periods together. Exactly, Ethan. Send me the DM. I'll have a look. We'll get you into the Facebook group chat. Francis says, you are a hero. Planko saying, catch and stream while packing for 10 days in Egypt. That's a trip. I haven't been to Egypt, but I've heard good things. Jesse, you been to Egypt or no?
No, but it's on my list for sure. That's one of the places I have to go. I absolutely love all things ancient Egypt. As quick fun fact.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, there's so many amazing historical things there. Unbelievable stuff. I like the Boston Celtics in basketball too. And Jaylen Brown was talking about how he went to Alexandria and just to see all those historical things in Egypt. Anyway, we're getting a bit off topic, but that's okay because the chat is just is supporting us so much. So unbelievable. I can't even believe it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ethan, and everyone else who's donating here. This is unbelievable. But it's time to get in to the Habs, finally. Thank you, guys. Let's talk first about, wait, no, not that, this. Let's talk about who got sent down, Jesse. I mean, no surprises here. Jakob Dobesh, Adam Engstrom, Logan Mailloux, and Joshua, well, there was one surprise. There was no surprises for the first 3, but Joshua was sent down to the Laval Rocket. Now, there were some comments about this. Coach Marty said, basically, we didn't feel he earned a spot to begin here, and I felt like Barré-Boulet earned a spot to be here. That's pretty cold. At the end of the day, it's an internal competition. He went on to praise Barré-Boulet for his overall game, kind of offensive and defensive side. And Barré-Boulet, guys, by the way, I feel like he gets underrated. He's had some great AHL years, never really produced at the NHL level. But Marty also had this to say. Generally, Josh talking about Waugh has an NHL computer. He just needs to work on all the rest. And that's the thing with Joshua Waugh, Jesse, is that, like, he looked good last season. It's just in the camp, as Marty said, there's just some guys who passed him. Any first impression thoughts? And I'll get to this another amazing super chat in just a second. What were your first thoughts when you saw Waugh was sent down? I thought maybe it's a cat move, but it didn't really make sense. And now I'm just like, wow, they're kind of cutthroat. They showed it last year with Armia. It's like, you show you're not worthy to be here, you don't get to stay.
I'm really surprised by this move, to be honest, because it's like you didn't have the best camp, but to not make the team at all, right? Like, for sure, there's waiver implications and different things that does come into this. They still believe that Joshua Waugh has like a big offensive ceiling. So in one way, this kind of looks like a slight, but it might be in a way to protect him where they might want to nurture him. They might still believe, even when we get like a line A back, that he can be a top 6, if not a really solid top 9 contributor. So I believe that they think he has a really solid offensive upside, but like they want to nurture that and they want to maybe give him a little bit more time to kind of focus on that part of his game. But we know there's other things as part of it as well. But like we thought with that line A injury, Josh, like we thought for sure like Joshua Waugh on that second line, right? But it just from there kind of created a couple other questions, Josh, like, like ABB making the team, as well. We got Heineman on the opening lineup, like instead of our boy Kapanen, like absolutely just unreal to
What a
see there.
save.
So right. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
It's like, oh my goodness.
Chat,
Like
give a W for that save for
we're
Jesse. Holy
oh
crap. What a
man,
catch.
like we're getting fired up though. Like I can't believe Joshua Waugh got sent down. Like for me, there has to be, Josh, like I'd love to get your opinion on this. It's like for me, it seems like there's a little bit of that vet, whoever has that more experience, like even the fact of Heineman getting the spot in the starting lineup over at Kapanen. Like for me, it's like, okay, I know that Heineman's been in a couple more camps and everything else like that, but I don't know if it's perfectly merit based. I think in a perfect world, like I want to see Kapanen, you know what I mean, instead of an Armia on that second line.
Oh,
And even, going on that second power play unit. I don't know if we're just going by who really deserved it. Like I think that Kapanen deserves at least that spot in the opening night lineup. So definitely some big questions here.
yeah, we'll oh no, the hotkeys stopped working, but that's okay. We'll manually do all this. We'll try our best to. Oh no, it's working. It's just this one didn't. There we go. I think I pressed the wrong button. But you're very right. Like there's some questionable stuff going on in the lineup there now, and I just put up a poll, by the way, in the chat asking you guys. By the way, the people loved that save. They're very happy with that save. It's very impressive. But whoa, that was volume spike. But yeah, like I don't know. Like, and I'm seeing even in the chat here saying we kept saying how good Waugh looked in camp. You couldn't understand why. I didn't think he sucked that bad. Like I didn't think he was like amazing, but I thought he was good. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked smart. He looked to be in the right spots at the right times. He was given those opportunities. He didn't capitalize, but I think I was more like surprised. Like I just didn't think it was going to be enough for him to get cut, and I was just kind of penciling him in like. He showed enough last year, and the camp wasn't the best, but, anyway, still. But, Jesse, I have to go back just a minute because we skipped over the super chat. We're having crazy super chats from Alex Zafaris, $14. Thank you so much, Alex. Unbelievably generous. Thank you very much. Saying, hoping Cole Caufield can produce more this year if he stays healthy. Right now, from how he has played in the 2 preseason games, he doesn't look bad, but not necessarily good. Wishing the best, though. Leave a like on Alex's super chat, guys. Go leave a like. It's only 2 likes there. $14. So generous. It deserves a bit more. But, I don't know. Cole Caufield, like, I tend not to put too much stock into preseason games, but and especially in these games where the Habs have kind of been in rough games, there have been some question marks over a lot of stuff, and the power play has not looked great. But as Marty said today, Jesse, he's basically like, I'm glad we haven't shown other teams what we have to give in the power play yet. 0 for 30, whatever. The regular season's a different beast. And I think we are going to see a different Caufield. I think the preseason's never necessarily the full picture. Because to me, like, if he has a slow start, I still won't even be worried. If we get months into the season, he has 2 goals maybe. But Caufield has shown too much skill. He's shown that, his shot when he's healthy is really, really good. I'm fully expecting him to have a huge, I don't even know if I want to say bounce back year because he just set a career high in points too,
It's true, but we just know what he's capable of. And that's why, obviously we're seeing these different thoughts from a lot of different Habs fans, I would say like, I think a lot of Habs fans as well, though, are feeling like it would have been nice for Marty to have at least one game in the preseason where it was really our regular, like pretty close to our starting night lineup, at least just to get a feel, even if it was the last game or something, because then we can really evaluate a Cole Caufield. But it's almost hard to, kind of, because for sure he's there with the first line, but we have to keep in mind like the overall makeup, the different lines that are there, because that really affects the matchup. So when Cole Caufield isn't playing as part of just a normal Habs lineup, it's super hard to kind of see exactly where he's at, which you could argue what preseason's all for. And even if it's a little bit shorter, at least it's having one game where we're getting really close to the opening night lineup. Like this is, I feel is important sometimes to really hit the ground running when you are starting the season to really get a perfect feel on these players. But Cole Caufield, like we know his shooting percentage was really low last year. We know how he finished last year so well. He's that skilled player though, but we need him to have an amazing year because we know like teams that are really competing in the NHL, they have multiple stars. I like Suzuki. That's a point per game guy. That's a star for me. Slav is in the making, but Cole needs to get to that 30, 40 goal range, kind of consistent to become that star that this team needs. And if he does that, then we start having those multiple stars. We have Suzuki, we got Lane, we got Cole, we got Slav, we got Line when he's back. Like those are really what you need. So you need these guys firing all cylinders. But for sure, the regular season, it's another beast. Now we're getting excited. We're going to get to the nitty gritty of it very soon. So we're so excited for that to really be able to judge.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch him play in a fully functioning lineup and hopefully a better functioning power play. But Marty doesn't seem worried. And again, like Regular season is very different from preseason. We'll see what happens. Will the problems persist? Some of them, probably, but not all of them, right? So we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to go through a few more chats before I get into the actual lineups there. So I asked Joshua Roy, right or wrong decision, and the chat pretty overwhelmingly say that's the right decision. And honestly, like, yeah, I am surprised, but you know, I kind of also understand it, especially from the Habs perspective. If they truly see, like, Heineman and Kapanen as the better guys, and while, yeah, Roy maybe didn't have as good a camp again, I feel like maybe I don't know if we're in the minority with how we thought he looked, but yeah, maybe that also means that, you know, the Habs see him as a very different player than we do. But as Marty even said, they see his potential as sky high. He just has to work to get there, and I hope he can get there. Let's go through some of the chats here quick. We got an instant replay of that catch. People really like that. It's a decision I wouldn't want to make. Very true. Like, it's got to be tough on Wow. I'm sure we'll hear from him in the coming days. Alex has thought he was a ghost, but still surprised. Denis Ronget, I am a hat trick member. I don't understand. Denis, if you're talking about the Fantasy Hockey League, you just need a Yahoo email address, and in the community tab, there is a link that you'll find to join the league. You click on that and you'll be able to join. And that's it. Just click on the link and it'll prompt you to create an account, and then you can join the league. And we're drafting tomorrow. So if you need any more help, feel free to DM us on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll try and help you out as well. Super Goujon, g'day. Bottom line, these sent to the Rocket need to be outstanding to secure a spot on the senior side over. Oh my. Oh, sorry, Jesse. Well, we have a certain special new channel member, and that is Mr. George Strombolopoulos. The Strombo Show has joined the Hat Trick tier. And that is the real Strombo Show. I've DM'd you before, George, and we're very honestly honored to have you watch our show. That is unbelievable. And hey, if you want to be part of the Habs Digest Fantasy Hockey League, click the link in the community tab. Guys, leave some love for that right there. Strombo is in the chat. Strombo is now a Hat Trick member. I want to see all the emojis, emoticons in the world, Jesse. That is crazy. That's almost surreal.
Canadian legend, grew up with you on Much Music, then Hockey Night in Canada. We just appreciate you so much, George, the way you are, and just your love you're showing us right now. We truly appreciate you so much.
Absolute. Yeah, I mean, Canadian legend, as we've said, like I've said in DMs, as you guys all know. You guys all know Strombo. It's unbelievable stuff. Saying, haha, always checking in on you. Great work. But really, really appreciate you, George. So, I mean, again, if you want to join the Fantasy Hockey League, you don't have to do that. But still, you know, it's just unbelievable to have you here. Absolutely insane. We got a lot of people in the chat there. He's an icon, strong Canadian voice for years. I used to listen when Strombo started out on the Fan 590, Habs fan on Leafs radio. C'est beau, oui, from Alpha Male. Wow. I mean, that's gonna be something that, you know, I keep close to that. Now we can say that. I mean, I already knew he was a subscriber, but anyway, I'm not gonna toot your horn too much, George. But you know, we really appreciate you. Wow. Yeah. Strombo knows quality when he sees it. Welcome, Strombo. We got a lot of people here. All right, Jesse, let's move on to the actual lines today, and let's just take a look at what we have here. So the forward group's no surprise in the first line, but Jesse, it took him a while to actually put a solid second line there in the practice today. Mm-hmm. And it turns out, Joel, as I tweeted out, we have Patrik Laine at home. Armia, the other large Finnish player on the team, is slotting in on the second line wing there for Patrik Laine. Barré-Boulet on the third line is one of the other big surprises here, and also Heineman on the fourth. Now, Kapanen being the 14th forward here is one of the more interesting things. I would like to think that the reason he's not in is because he's a right-hand shot. He played right wing in the preseason and center. They think maybe he doesn't deserve to be there over Evans or Dvorak. And you have Anderson Gallagher. It's hard to justify putting Kapanen there on the right side. Maybe that's why you give Heineman the nod. I still wouldn't mind seeing Kapanen play on his off wing. I don't know if he's comfortable there, but Jesse, there's a lot of confusion coming out of this right here. You know, like you said earlier, I think a guy like Kapanen deserves to get a big shot in this lineup, but Armia, I think, kind of makes sense with Newhook and Dach. Newhook and Armia have shown some chemistry, but I don't know. I like Barré-Boulet, and I like that Marty sees a lot in him, but I think there's going to have to be a lot to prove come Wednesday night.
For sure, but we're seeing again that experience. Anytime that we want to discredit it, not give enough respect, the NHL reminds us that it is a league of veterans, of experience, where this really matters. This is why we're seeing Joel Armia sliding into that second line right there. And you know what? He's got some goal scoring in his game. I've mentioned for a while, you know, kind of the Habs needing a little bit more experience, maybe in that top six. You know, Hughes was kind of thinking of that, maybe with Patrik Laine, even though he's a young vet, but he still has that experience all the same. But Armia is going to bring that, right? Because you're looking at our top six, other than Armia, right? Like, He's the one really bringing experience. So there is value in that. We know how amazing he is along the boards, and we really hope for the best. Like this season, last season rather, he just wanted to bring more of that positive attitude. And, we want to see him carry that in because we know he's a very capable player. Like he's big. He has all the skills. It's just about kind of really putting it together. You have to feel with him playing with some pretty good line mates, even better than he's played with over the last couple of years. Like, this could be a big chance for Armia here, all the same. And we see again, like that NHL experience, even with Andre Barré-Boulet, like that's why he's coming in. Heineman, he's got a couple more camps. You have to feel like that's part of it. I mean, in an ideal world, if we're really going more by a meritocracy, I'd love to see Kapanen on this lineup somewhere, and definitely on that second power play unit. Like we know we need to get it going. That second power play unit is lacking. That's why I wanted to see him on here, because I thought he could really kind of help pack a punch there.
Yeah, there's some very interesting stuff, and I think the second power play is going to see a lot of different players, which is going to be really, really cool. But yeah, like Barré-Boulet, I don't have his player card up here, but guys, like I feel like he gets, I don't know if I want to say slept on, because at the NHL level, he's just never really produced. He's been one of those guys that's a high tier AHL, low tier NHL guy, but he's always had that punch, right? He was undrafted. But then 2 years after his draft year, he was injured his D+1 in the Q. But then as a 20-year-old, he went out and put up a 50-plus goal season in the Q. Then as a rookie in the AHL at the age of 21, 22, he put up 34 goals and 34 assists in a point per game season with 34 goals as a 22-year-old. So like this guy has that offensive potential. It just hasn't quite come together at the NHL level. And when it comes to the power play, I might as well show that as well. Where do I have it? Here it is. Special teams. They got him right there on that second power play, Jesse. Like there's a world where he's really going to be able to help them. Now, I gotta say, looking at this second power play, it's I guess a little different than what I was hoping for when the season started. But to see Hudson there is good. I'm hoping Hudson's going to be able to control a lot of that. And I know you can't just give him the full reins of the PP1 and all that stuff right away. But at the same time, it's like, gosh, I think he's going to earn his way up to the top. But regardless, do you see where Hudson, the kind of like, here's how I see it. Hudson's going to elevate this second power play on his own. He's going to make these other guys look really good. That's what he did in the preseason. I know the Habs went 0 for 30. I don't need to see that number anymore. But you got a lot of skilled players. Barré-Boulet has that crazy offensive upside if he's in the right situation. He's good on the power play. Newhook is super fast. He's quite good at those zone entries. Armia is super skilled, a smart eye for the puck. He can control the offensive zone very well. And Brendan Gallagher is one of those guys who's going to be annoying as all F to deal with on the doorstep. So it's like, I think it's just a nice synergy, even though the players aren't that like super high level of skill that's maybe some other teams that have. I think the synergy is really nice.
Lane Hudson's so good that he's going to get points on the power play regardless of who his teammates are. Why? Because he creates these 2-on-1s all over the ice, as Marty St. Louis likes. Like when you're in the offensive zone and you're making that first guy miss, right away, you're now creating a 2-on-1. You're taking him out of the picture, and then you're creating all these other opportunities for other players. So you'd have to see, like, probably expect some early chemistry between Hudson and Newhook, who's also looked very good so far this year. I want to see Newhook get off to a strong start kind of early on. So I expect to see them kind of working some magic. But absolutely, Lane Hudson, he's the type of player, it just doesn't matter to him who else is on the ice. He's just going to make a difference just by his skill. But also, I think even more importantly, as we're going to find out about Lane Hudson, through just the sheer will of his game. This guy is just a competitor through and throughout. He cares so much about the game that he's just going to have a really solid effect on this team. So I really can't wait. Like, this is one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing the most. Like, I know we're still hurting from missing Patrick Laine. For sure, this affects our opening night lineup, and this will kind of change as the season's going on. But I would argue once we get Laine back, having Heineman, having Kapanen in, especially they'll get some looks on the second power play. You have to feel like that overall depth of this team is just going to get a little bit stronger with Laine. Obviously, that top-end talent's going to be there to kind of balance things out as well. So I feel like in the long run, this could have a good effect once Patrick Laine's back in. The fact that we're giving Kapanen a chance here.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff going on. Why is this not working again? That's because I'm pressing the wrong button. Sometimes you just gotta look. You gotta look at the buttons you're pressing. I try to do it without looking, but you're very right. Like there's some stuff. You mentioned Kapanen, we mentioned all these other guys. I think I'll get to a quote that Marty had today, and I think that's a good transition point here. Because Marty was talking a bit about Kapanen and Heineman, because again, like you got Barré-Boulet, you got Kapanen, you got Heineman, you got all these guys coming in with Waugh not there. Marty basically said, I'd say to start with talking about Heineman and Kapanen, they're players that bring enthusiasm and energy. They're different players. Heineman brings a lot of pace. Kapanen is very calculated on the ice. And he went on to say that both will have opportunities to kill penalties. Both might play a bit on the power play when they're in the lineup. And this is why I really believe that we're going to see a lot of rotation in and out. I don't think Barré-Boulet is a lock on the power play. There are some other guys in that second power play. I'd like to think Armia and Gallagher stay, but I don't think their jobs are necessarily safe when you have these kind of skilled players like Kapanen knocking on the door. And Kapanen was very happy. He actually said he was very stressed this morning, waiting on what's going to happen. When I came here, I wanted to take a spot, really come forward for it and battle for it. That was the main reason why I came here. I got that from Habs on Reddit on Twitter. By the way, guys, they are linked in the description. There's been some stuff going down on Twitter. I'm not going to comment on the stuff exactly going down there, but if you want to go give them a follow on Twitter, it's top link in the description. I really suggest you do, because if you want to get some great quotes from them, they have it. And I'm actually going to pop this up too, because we also tweet. We got new graphics for Twitter and Instagram if you're not following us, but it Kappen. Make it Kappen work, Jesse. For Oliver Kapanen, what do you think? I mean, I don't expect a percentage, but how likely do you think it is that he ends the season in Montreal versus ends the season in the SHL? Because, you know, you're looking at it and he's kind of that fringe forward right now. And I think Montreal also understands that that's not necessarily the best thing for his development, though that's obviously a work in progress. You don't know yet. He's probably going to get reps very early in the season. They're going to cycle in and out players, probably Barré-Boulet, probably Heineman. Kapanen's going to get his chance here and there, whatever. And there might be injuries, knock on wood. You never know. So I think they're going to take their time to see how it looks with Montreal, how he gets his reps. But, you know, starting on the fringe, here's my take. I think he's going to end up playing, and he's going to look so good, just like he did in training camp, that he's going to work his way up the lineup very, very fast. But I also wouldn't totally mind if at the end of the day, if he's still getting third, fourth line minutes, they say, you know what, finish the year getting those first line reps.
I think, you know, it's all about for him getting his foot in the door. And again, on the penalty kill, this is a guy that he's a threat on the penalty kill. Like, you're not going to want to cough the puck up to this guy, because I see it as someone that can really take the puck the other way. So I think he's going to get his opportunity, and I think he's going to definitely make the most of it. It's not even a foregone conclusion, even a month from now, that we're talking about a Kapanen, even maybe a Heineman on that second line instead of an Armia, depending on how it's going. We know Armia knows that his position there isn't solidified by the least bit. So I feel like Kapanen's going to get in there just on like merit base. I would have to say, like, you know, from what we've seen so far, that I could definitely like project him finishing the year off in the NHL by just playing so well. But, you know, given what we're seeing, you know, looks like he'll be a healthy scratch. You know, one of the extras going into opening night along with Pizzetta is like Marcel Louis saying that it's like, that's not a given. It's definitely going to be a touch and go basis as we kind of see as he develops. But for me, I feel like it's one of those players where like experience kind of dictates getting into the lineup, but it's all about making the team. Like, you can tell he cared about this. Like, he really wanted to make it all morning. He's kind of checking out Twitter, seeing what's going on to get the news, to see if this is all kind of came out. So I think that because he really cares so much, that just a player that once he gets onto that lineup, I think could really make something happen, especially like for a team that really needs a little bit more of that offensive punch, even though he's 100%. Not this offensive dynamo, just because he can really, like, once he's in the offensive zone, he likes to hold on to it. He likes to protect it, not just kind of give away the puck, but like once he's offensive zone, he's looking to make the play a little bit more of that possession game, right? That he likes to play, which I think could be really good for the Montreal Canadiens. So if like we're looking for players to really be threat, we really need that. So personally speaking, I just want to see him succeed and look to maybe get a spot on the second line sooner than later.
Yeah, and like I think there's just now, it's kind of open season. It's not the best way to say it, but like it's like kind of an open competition. Like that spot's up for grabs. Like Armia, he got that job right now, and I don't think it's a bad replacement. I actually think he does do a lot of things very well. He ended last season very strong. He's had a decent camp, and it's like, okay, give him that spot. Why not? As yes, we got some more gifted subs here. We got Denis Rollinger gifting 5 memberships. I actually see Daddy Dino. You mentioned earlier you had to accept the channel membership. I'm still here, and you can go accept that now because you were gifted a channel membership by Denis Rollinger, as well as Evan Stewart, Mystic Prodigy, Michelle, and Devos Nation Live. I see a lot of you guys in the chat all the time. Devos, you were here last time. I think we live streamed at multiple times as well. Mystic, you're always around here. Evan and Michelle as well. You guys are all now channel members. Accept that from Denis. Thank you so much, Denis. And Joseph Donovan saying it's like Christmas. I'm excited 2 more sleeps as Denis drops. There's Denis Santa Claus in the chat and comes in and drops that. Denis said earlier, for me, since Guy Lafleur, I've never been so interested to follow a new Canadiens player. There's so much good stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Thank you for the gift. I got to go through the chat. There's some disagreements about Martin Saint Louis in the chat, but you let that go. And then Jesse, first of all, I want to thank again Denis for being so generous. Really love that. Alex saying Matheson ain't creating nothing with the second unit. Maybe, we don't know. But we got a Pierre Houd tongue twister here. Let me go find it from BRPQN, who also just joined. Marie-Boulay, Harvey Pinard, Heinemann. What do you think you can say that? Marie-Boulay, Harvey Pinard, Heinemann?
Marie-Boulay, Harvey Pinard, Heinemann.
Nah, see, it's not even bad. It's not even a tongue twister. Pierre Houd, if we can do it, Pierre Houd can do it 100 times over and not even take a breath. He is the best, the GOAT the GOAT announcer. There's no English announcer that even comes close to Pierre Houd. We all know Pierre Houd is the man, the best guy. Jason saying, Denis Ranger for Prime Minister. Hey, Denis Ranger, get ready. The elections are coming up soon. I think you got a lot of people here who are going to vote for you. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff there. I wanted to talk to you, Jesse. Excuse me. This stream has been so amazing with all the gifted subs, all this stuff. Josh, that's a guy shot me. Come on. Yeah. But I've been getting excited, but there's one last thing I wanted to mention. This is the last topic that I have for today, and if there's something you guys want to talk about as well, feel free to message in the chat. But it's the defense, Jesse. And again, no surprise in who was sent down. There's no surprise that Adam Engstrom was sent down alongside Logan Mailloux. But the pairings from today, now Struble did have a therapy day, so we're not exactly sure where he's going to slot in. It's kind of up in the air still, because Struble could be on that third pairing. I don't think they're going to scratch Xhekaj. Wouldn't surprise me to see a Struble-Xhekaj third pairing. That's not a third pairing I'd want to go up against if I'm another team. I do think Xhekaj-Barron makes more sense in terms of Xhekaj-Barron or Struble-Barron in terms of the way they work off of each other, but who knows? I do think Struble had a better camp than Barron. I think Barron, out of the 7 that were kept, had the worst camp and is kind of the guy that's already on the fringe, but regardless. Matheson, Guhle, Hudson, Savard, Xhekaj-Barron. If this is the 6 group that goes into opening night, for me, Jesse, I think it's clear to me that the most exciting pairing is Hudson-Savard. I'm really excited to see Hudson on the second pairing. We got the teasers throughout all training camp, throughout the rookie camp. We knew this was going to come, but to see it finally be here in front of us, to know that this is almost certainly what's going to go out against the Leafs, I am beyond excited.
Yeah, and we're really going to get a feel now for a team in earnest with our proper lines, our proper pairings, and everything else. And then we're going to really see as this team really flows as a whole, because it's hard to kind of judge before then until players are kind of playing in their right spots, everything else, right? So it's going to be absolutely incredible to see. Again, not too many big surprises, but Josh, I am really looking forward to seeing Adam Engstrom. He will be called up this year. He will play games for the Montreal Canadiens, and you have to feel like he's going to be ready. He's going to be one of those guys too, where, even when he comes up, even if he doesn't just stick right there, I think that he's going to be a guy that's going to leave a solid impression. He's going to leave his calling card with Martin St. Louis and say, this is what you can expect from me when I'm playing, right? We know that now more than ever, we need defensemen that can really carry the puck up, that transition game in the offensive zone. And this is something that Adam Engstrom does so much. He just skates so well. He adapts so well to today's NHL. So I'm really looking forward to him. Obviously, we want to see Barron. He shows some good glimpses in training camp. We just want to see him finish it off. But he was dangling in the offensive zone. He was getting some slot chances. Comfortable. Exactly. Looking at being a little bit more of a leader this year and really kind of know when it's his time to go. So I have to feel like it's the lane effect, Josh, where it's this guy's going to affect other people offensively to kind of Guhle to get on his horse a little bit more. Barron to kind of flex his muscles in this way, right? You just have to feel like everybody's going to want to step up. But, with Masson, we know that offense is there. You got to love that first pairing in a lot of ways. Guhle, for sure, we want to get him back on his left side, but this guy can just do everything. What a testament for him, this being a first pairing right-handed defenseman. But yeah, again, Lane is going to be so big for this team, going to be so exciting, for this team for so many reasons. And Xhekaj, enough said, he deserves his spot on this team. That's for sure. We just want to see him rip it, continue to protect his teammates as he's been doing. He absolutely deserves it. And he's just going to continue to improve and get better. Obviously a very young decor, but we're expecting to see some major jump ups, especially from certain specific players this year.
Yeah, I actually saw some one comment speaking of jump ups. I saw someone say, do you think they're going to try Xhekaj forward like Byfuglien? I do. But Florian, just not right now. But I agree. I also saw people saying there's 5 lefties if you include Struble. Sure. It's not quite as bad as the Sabres situation, who have 3 or 4 lefties all on big contracts. But It's not a big problem. Not in today's NHL. These guys can all do it, but you're very right. Hudson brings a much needed dynamic to this team. I did want to mention Primeau versus Montembeault. Primeau was listed first. I don't think that actually means anything, but I think it could be really cool looking into opening night. But Jesse, we got a super chat. Guys, go leave a like on Frank's super chat. There's only 3 likes on that. Go leave a like on Frank's super chat. Thank you so much, Frank. $14. Simply saying, go Habs, go. Go Rockets, go. Come on, go leave a like. I can't. All I can do is heart the message. Come on, guys. I want to see that number go up. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Frank. You're such a loyal viewer, and you've donated multiple times. We really, really do appreciate you very much. A look through some more of the chats here. There we go. Now we're seeing the likes go up. Habs need to keep Xhekaj and Pizzetta. Denis says, I go to Gosse each day. Advantage of being retired. Denis, do you go to the practices every single day? That is pretty sick, if so. I'd love to do that, Jesse. He's just a bit too far away for us, I think.
Oh man, that would be totally incredible.
Dude,
though.
I'd love to go. I should go at some point, but it's pretty far from Quebec City, but still. Sheriff stays. Denis in no way. Yeah, this is going to be great. I did want to mention one last thing, guys. Well, first of all, we got over 100 likes in the stream. I didn't even really ask for them besides the start. And this subscriber count, I keep pointing the wrong way. That's gone up 11 since we started streaming. And again, it's completely free if you want to hit the button down below. We're working towards that 15,000 goal by Wednesday. It's not the most insane thing. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you subscribe, you can see all our videos, daily Habs content. You can chat in here with all these wonderful people, so it would really be nice. Final thing, Jesse. I said that was the final topic, but we got to talk now. There's a game Wednesday night. Montreal versus Toronto. Quick hitter. Are you saying Monty gets the start?
Monty's getting the start for sure.
Monty's getting the start for sure. I completely agree. You know what? I just thought of this, and so we're going to do this because it's fun. Which forward line is going to be the line to start the game? Because sometimes it's the first line, sometimes it's not. I am going with Dach, Newhook, Armia. I think that's who's going to open the game in Toronto. Get Dach, he's back. Get him out there to start the night. Do you have any hot takes on that?
Right. I think I'd like to see us start with our top line,
like
Suzuki, Caufield, Slaf. Get them started early. Definitely, they're the strongest part of this team, so we definitely need them to represent. We know Suzuki can do it all in any type of situation. He can handle that. So, I'll go with that first line, but we'll see if they're trying to go for matchups.
Yeah, I think so too. And as for defense, I guess it doesn't really matter. Wouldn't it be cool to see Hudson start the game? I certainly don't think it's going to be Xhekaj. I think that would send a bit of an interesting message. Unless Toronto trots out there with Ryan Reeves or something, then maybe we'll get that. But guys, Simon Desjardins with the $5 donation with the fantastic question that I was going to bring up, but you got me to bring up thanks to your chat. Pumped for the season to start. Are you guys doing a live after the game on Wednesday? Well, Simon, thank you for asking. And to all 357 people in here, we will be live for a post-game after Wednesday's game against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we will be going live with Leafs Digest. We've mentioned this in streams before, but I want every single one of you to mark this on your calendars. I've asked you before, after the game, between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern, whenever the game ends, we'll be going live with Nick and Darius from Leafs Digest. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be in the chat. We want you guys there to support us as much as you can. They're going to have their fans in their stream. They're catching up to us in subscribers as well, which I got to be honest, I don't necessarily like it, but at the same time, they are making amazing content for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are doing some amazing stuff, but I want you guys to show up and support us on Wednesday night. Let us know right now. If you're in the chat, let us know if you're going to be there Wednesday night or not for the post game. Why for yes if you're going to be there, and for no, I better not see too many ends. But Jesse, I'm so excited, not only for the game, but to talk to those guys after the game. I think it's going to be so fun.
Going to be a lot of fun, and got Habs Digest fans, even though they're Leafs fans, Darius and Nick, they're great guys, great to talk hockey with. So we're going to have a lot of fun, right? But we know they're bringing their fans, so we're going to need you there as well. It's going to be fun, but there's going to be a little bit of chirping, so we're definitely going to need you guys to come out. They've been talking a little bit of smack, all in good nature, all in fun as the season's kind of come up. So we need you there to kind of rally behind us, right? But we're getting to try something new, which I'm really looking forward to doing, Josh, and we know that the network's growing. We're going to be able to maybe even do this with some other channels as they're really kind of growing as well. So we're looking forward to really just, because again, it's so nice to share our perspective, but it's nice to kind of talk back and forth. Okay, get their perspective, really talk about the game as a whole, right? Have some back and forth, have some fun with it, a couple good-natured jabs here and there. That's what hockey's all about.
It's going to be fun. And again, guys, I don't want you going in there and tearing their chat down or anything like that. Don't go into their chat, but come in, support us, give us the messages, give us that hype that we need against the Leafs. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of people saying yes, they'll be there. Really appreciate that so much. And even if you can't make it, no worries. Just watch the video after, because I know it'll be a lot of fun. But guys, for now, that'll do it. Oh, Simon says, whoa. Simon says $50 if we win. Double that if it's a shutout. Gonna rub it in Leafs Digest. Love the content. Well, Simon, I'm not gonna hold you to that. But I'm gonna give you the super chat animation anyway. Because if the Habs win, like, again, not gonna hold you to donating $50 if they win. But I mean, that's your prerogative. And thank you so much for even suggesting that. But it's gonna be a ton of fun. And by the way, again, reminder to all our Rocket Richard tier members. We got Alex, we got Doug, we got Brian. And now we also have Ethan. We'll have a nice call during the game, chat about it as it's happening before that live stream. So there's some great stuff. Ethan, I did see your DM. If you're still here, we'll get you in that group chat soon. But that'll do it. Jesse, any final words before we head off to the final live stream before the season, guys? I know we're all excited.
Very excited. The season's here upon us. So important to start the season off right. I know that we're doing that. We're getting ready for it here. We're getting together as a community. We got our normal guys. We got Denis. We got new channel, group member with Ethan. Thank you so much, George Strombolopoulos, again, for stopping by, showing your support. We truly appreciate you so much. You're a Canadian icon, but more than that, you're just a great human being. And as well, everybody else in this chat donating. We just appreciate your support. As you guys know, we work full-time jobs. We don't do this full-time. So like your support, it just means the world to us. We truly appreciate it. It makes us feel good, like every day, to be honest, that we get to be part of this community, that we get to speak with you, So thank you guys so much for what you've done for our lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I got to shout out George Strombolopoulos. Thanks, Strombo. I don't know if you're still watching, but if you are, there's always an open invitation to come on the show. Maybe we'll be talking some point soon, but I would really love if we could do that. And Denise said, yes, he is there every single day at practice, Jesse, which is really, really cool to me. That is awesome. So, Denise put in a good word for us if you're talking to any of the players ever. Always good to have connections. But guys, that'll do it. On the way out, send the GHG. I just sent it in the chat, as you can see. Give some GHG. Go Habs, go. Let's get this hype rolling for the regular season. We will have a video out tomorrow, like always. We will be live after the game on Wednesday. We hope you guys stick along for the ride. But that'll do it for this live episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help us hit that 15K. I know we're far away, but I know if you guys help us out, we can do it. I'm Josh Goss, for my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you guys in the next